Today in the channel I'll show you the Shaka glider, which is this beautiful wing. Look at the interesting design, and I chose this combination of colors to cover it. And it's from the Ukraine. I'll leave the link in the description below, and I'll show you the build process from the kit, and then we'll fly it. I haven't flown it yet, so it's gonna be very interesting. So the Shaka comes in this triangular box, which is very weird. If you check the website, you'll see the price and everything, all the details, so I'll leave the link in the description below. This is everything included in the box, which is the plan and also all the wood parts and the carbon fiber tubing. The plans are in color, which is the first time that I see a plan in color, and these are all the laser cut pieces, which are very well cut and they're very precise. So I'm going to start the whole process. Building this model is very simple, although I took about 2 weeks in my spare time, but compared to building the Riser 100, for example, which video you can see there in the corner, it took very little time and effort. I would say that the most complicated part of this model was this kind of fuselage, which has a lot of parts, and then you have to cut it down and sand it to round the edges. But if you follow the instructions or pictures in the website, it will be a lot easier to finish it. Here's that little fuselage that I was talking about, and is totally sanded, so it's more rounded and looks better. And here you can see the final shape of the model, but I still need to cover it with some film, which I'm going to do next. I'm really impressed with the alignment of the wings, and because of the perfection of the laser cut, all the pieces will fit together perfectly. And for the covering, I selected white on the top, then on the bottom of the wings I'll choose 2 different colors in transparent, and the fuselage will be red. So it will be very interesting, and these films are from different brands, but it will work just fine. And after a little bit of magic, I finished the wing, and everything is connected and ready to go. So the wing is finished, and as you saw in the beginning of the video, this is the final result. I'm planning to use some magnets to hold the canopy in place, and I had to put more weight on the nose to have the right center of gravity that is marked here. The electronics are very simple. Inside I'm just using a very tiny 2S LiPo battery, then I'm using a buck converter to step down the voltage to 5 volts, and then I'm using a micro receiver, and then I'm connecting the servos from the wings. And the wings are detachable, so you can unscrew this and take apart the wings and the fuselage, and that way it's even more portable. But I don't think I need to do that, because this is a very small wingspan, and now is the time to go out and fly it. The first place I went out for the Maiden flight was the beach, and there is a very minimal tiny slope where I can maybe gather some updraft and fly this glider. The wind is perfect, is in the right direction and has enough speed. And there it goes. It flies, but it's very sensitive to the controls. so I need to fix that. I set a very high exponential curve and also limited the range of the servo. But the other problem is that this tiny slope is not gonna help to maintain the flight of the plane. I walked down the beach and found another place where the slope was a little bit larger, so I could get more lift. But I still needed to trim the plane and also had a problem with the only battery that I took with me that day. So I'm going to fly it again in another place. This is the place. The slope is a lot taller and the wind that day wasn't that fast, but it's going to be enough. With a wind speed of around 9 km per hour, there was plenty of lift available on this slope. It was the perfect time to trim the glider. I ended up using one single cell batteries, which are a lot easier to plug and play. I was using the trim tabs on my radio to trim the glider, but it wasn't enough, so I had to land around 6 different times to change the settings in my radio, using the sub-trimming and changing the exponential until I got it right. Also, I added a little bit more weight, and after the 6th time that I tried that, it was flying very well. Even the slight less movement in the elevons will make the difference and will make it turn, go up or down. It's very sensitive. So this plane is very fast and easy to build, but is not made for beginners. You need a lot of practice flying other planes, because this little wing requires a little bit of precision when flying it. Other than that, it's very fun to fly it and is not very expensive. I hope you liked this video. If you did enjoy it, please consider subscribing and I'll see you in the next project. I'll let you watch a little bit more of this wing flying. Bye for now.